So,
बटन ही करता था
okay, perfect. So, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whichever locations we are joining. Thank you so much for being over here. So, yes, uh, I guess this would be slightly an interesting topic. So, before I start my presentation, we'll just quickly have a quick gupshup of when you get to know, understand what is mind farming. When you saw the particular word mind farming, what came to your mind immediately?
understanding
Sowing is sorry.
Oh, yeah.
sorry, please go on. Who is that?
No, go ahead, Rahul.
Yeah, I was just saying understanding one's mind from scratch to hatch.
Okay. Scratch to hatch. That's such a coach terminology, Fantastic. Yeah, Vijayashri.
I was thinking farming from the perspective of sowing something beautiful that can really transform into something that can have a large impact.
Fantastic. Beautiful. I think you just got the essence of it. But when it comes to coaching, we being coaches, whether we come from Marshall Goldsmith or the ICF, when we talk about coaching as a profession, when we talk about coaching as a part of our life, what comes to us, when we speak about mind farming? Because we help people, we facilitate with a lot of things, and being coaches, we get to see a lot of other people with a lot of different attributes, all these things, right? So when we speak about being a coach, what will come under mind farming? What comes up?
All that we do, right? All that we do is farming the mind to help them understand themselves deeper, understand what their potential is or what they have not seen yet, what they can explore, what they think is not there is actually there, and asking them to see it differently. It could be everything that we do, which is so beautiful.
Perfect. So we are kind of, reaching the destiny. Yes, true, very true. Being coaches, one thing what I really say is coach, your trainer, your facilitator, your catalyst, whatever terminology which we use, we not only help them, we also help ourselves.
Yes.
Coaching is not about I'm helping someone, I'm kind of empowering someone. Certainly not. We as coaches, we help others, but predominantly we help ourselves. We think, okay, yeah, this could be right. And every coaching client becomes a great university for us, because after completing one specific client, it could be a very good coaching session or it could have been a pathetic coaching session. But when I come out of it, there would be certain level of learning which I take through. And working with coaches, see, I got into ICF coaching last 2 years. But before that, running a company and working with so many companies, people used to ask, we need an ICF coach, we need a coach from Marshall Goldsmith. They specifically come out with the requirement. So that's the place where I got to know, okay, you have ACC level, PCC level, MCC level, and all. And that's how the awareness started moving. But now the thing is that most of us get into a very common problem. And any idea what is that? As coaches, many of us, not I wouldn't say everyone, that's why I'm using the word many of us, have this particular problem in common. And what could be that?
Not making enough money.
Who is that?
Inner voice of everyone. Jisi.
Oh my God. Thank you. It's a beautiful voice coming out, not making enough money. Yay. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. That comes under top three. Top three. But what could be the first and the second?
Um, I feel the next best question to ask. What is it that I can ask?
I get into I go blank. Oh my God. What am I supposed to ask them? Hmm. And you also go on mute, At times your clients can make you chup. Like, the lip locks happens. And you would be like, okay, you go blank. You just go. Yeah, that's also there. But yeah, in the top three, yes. Am I making enough money is coming at the top three. And number two and number one. Okay. I can give you a clue. Uh, okay. It's a part where we get it where the word starts with letter D, ends with T, and you can see that shine on my head. What's that? I gave you client. I gave you the clue. So D ends with T, and you have the shine over here. If you focus on my head, what's that? Because of what it's getting.
Distinct, huh?
Distinct. I'm feeling happy about it. As of now, me and Rahul are very distinct out over here. Thankfully, he's on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He got it. Yay! I'm another bro. Okay.
So,
It's
like
what
agreement,
is reflecting? What is, yeah, Mr. Singh?
agreement,
No, it starts with D, ends with T, and the clue is something over here. What is reflecting out of me? Delight.
Delight. Oh,
Delight. The job delight. Many a times, I get into coaching, and after some time, I'm like, am I doing what I'm supposed to do? I thought I would be having a very different thing altogether. My career is going to change after getting my credentials. Yes, I'm going to be the corporate coach. I'm going to be a leadership coach. I'm going to be a sales coach, executive coach, blah 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 coach. But unfortunately, after getting into this, you know, the expression or the experience what I'm going through or what I was expecting would have been a completely different ball game altogether. The one of the top three problems when I do a lot of coaching, surveys, where people say, "No, Abhishek, I think I just thought of something very different. I thought people would be approaching me. I was thinking that after putting my credentials in LinkedIn, people would be approaching me, but no. And I have to go behind people. If you want coaching, come back to me. If you want coaching, come to me. If you want coaching, come to me. And I have competition. I have Vijay, I have Sangamitra, I have Rahul, and these people are also, kind of very vibrant. And I don't know how to position myself. And I find it very difficult to position myself because competition is very heavy. And we people say that, they're very limited coaches. But I don't know. I have a lot of my friends who are coaches. All my friends are PCC coaches. And few of them are getting into MCC also. But I'm so worried because I invested a lot of money out over here. I know the farming, what happens over here is I've invested a lot of money. I was expecting that I would be having a return on investment from the money. But it becomes a question mark. And that's the second talk. That I won't say problem or a challenge. It's a second talk where, I am not making money. That is okay. But I expected a very different career altogether, but it is not happening as per my expectation. The expectation getting hurt. And what could be the first one? The first, as a coach in the mind farming. That's the last question before we start the presentation. Not making enough money. My expectations were different. The reality is different. And the first one, and yes, the fourth or fifth point could have been like, I go mute. I don't know what to ask. Oh my God. That was there. But the first one, it starts with letter K. And
it
that's the
starts with
edge.
letter.
That's the edge.
Knowledge.
Exactly. Knowledge. There is a point where, the learning stops after a certain level of credentials. I'm like, ये तो काफी है यार. Seriously, this is enough. When we get the credentials, I think that's the place where we may have to start learning more. And today, the expectations from the corporate is all about, okay, exposure, chalo, kafi hai. Okay, fantastic. But what about the global exposure? What are you guys doing outside the country? What are the other people doing? What are the new models coming into the market? And what is the niche which you are going to have? What are you going to give it on the plate? So how different your coaching session is going to be like? For an instance, I have Rahul, I have Anamika, I have, Jissy, I have Sangamitra, I have everyone in front of me. What is your USP? And how many of us have identified our USP? I'm not talking about the niche. I'm talking about the USP. You being a coach. And what is your USP? How many of us have it? Maybe you can just go with the reactions also, like, if I have a heart, then yeah, I know my USP. USP for that matter, people who are new to marketing term, unique selling proposition. My unique point, which me as a coach, which I have, others don't have. That's my selling point. How many of us have thought about it? How many of us think that this is my USP? Welcome to Mind Farming. So technically, what we're going to discuss today is something pretty interesting. And let me just show you a small slide. I'm not having multiple slides out over here. So yes, the factors which we do in land, we do it in the same in our minds as a professional. So we will have the 5 different things into coaching. Let's go one by one. Water represents something, sunlight represents something, natural filters, fertilizers represent something, farmer represents something, festives represent something. Now coming over to the water. According to you, for me being a coach, being a professional coach, it could be a personal professional coach or professional coach, jo bhi hai. But what was the water signifies? Water signifies something very important, right? And what is the water is?
Flow.
Yeah, exactly. The water has to flow. It has to flow. If it is getting into the same, it gets static, to be a flow. What would be the water signify in coaching? Okay. Uh, Water represents something which is very important. It has to go as a flow. What should go as a flow for a coach? Fluidity, okay. Clients have to glow. Exactly. Clients have to flow. Very simple. You have to flow along with the client. Your client is your water. Technically you have to keep meeting multiple people. Your every client helps us to have a better flow, and every client helps us to make ourselves better, think ourselves better. We come out with lot many things. Yes, flow with our clients need. Technically I may have to flow with the kind clients need. It has to be a client driven, not the coach driven, which we all know about it. But the water is also about not only the knowledge about what we do, it's also about the knowledge of our client. The water is about the knowledge. If I need to flow along with my client, if I need to flow along with the client's need, certainly the water should not get drained. The knowledge of mine should not get drained. And that comes under the significance of water. What kind of knowledge am I supposed to enhance, equip, update, upskill so that I don't become a dry land? The dry land becoming like a dry land is very, very easy. But at the end of the day, I may have to fluid it with amount of good knowledge, which should not be only with my domestic exposure. It should also be with outside the domestic exposure. That comes under water. Now coming over to the next one. Sunlight. Dhoop. The sunlight refers to,
Energy.
thank you. You're almost near. What when we look into the sunlight, what do we get? The energy
The
along with.
light.
Exactly. The client has to feel that kind of a comfort with us. The energy level has to be on the top. Yes, you may be having multiple commitments around you, but when we sit over there, when we sit in front of them, I'm not talking only about the coaching energy. The client should also feel that, yeah, I'm talking to the most positive guy. I could see a lot of shine. I can feel that. I can get that shine from him or her. So the sunlight represents where you get the energy or the brightness around you, where people feel very comfortable. Like they are ready to share anything in front of you. There is nothing called as okay, am I supposed to hide this person or not? So certainly yes, the sunlight refers to the energy what you bring on the table. It could be anyone in front of you, but end of the day, when you are a coach, yes, certainly the energy level plays a major role, and that comes
Hello?
only through your smile. Hello. Yeah. Okay. Ruma. Hello. Yeah. Okay. That comes under through our energy. So energy is all about not only the physical energy, it's also about the emotional or the mental energy what we carry on the table with the client, which can make the client feel very comfortable with us. That comes under the sunlight. Natural fertilizers.
So natural fertilizers do two things. I come from a farming background.
Yeah.
So one is when we put in something that's inherent in the soil, that also creates something. So we are a catalyst. Even the natural fertilizers are catalyst. So that means even our questions are catalysts that are also natural fertilizers that bring out the essence from the plant.
Beautiful. Any other perspective on the fertilizers? I have Mr. Singh being the, the farmer, he got one beautiful perspective. But any other perspective on natural fertilizer? Yes, we speak about organic farming. We speak about everything being organic. The reason, instead of using the word fertilizer, I just use something called just to make sure it becomes organic. So for a
Could
coach,
it
what
be
could
the
become the natural
challenges
fertilizer?
that they are facing, the client
Okay,
that they need
kind
to
of
navigate
beautiful. Why do we use fertilizer in the farming?
to help growth?
Exactly, to help ourselves grow, right? Now let's get into the coaching part. To make myself grow in the corporate segment or being a private
From
coach.
that perspective. Okay.
Uh, being a being a private coach or a practicing coach or a corporate coach or Joe we have, whatever it is. What could be my fertilizer for the growth?
Can it be like we prepare the soil? We actually start sowing the seeds as well.
True.
So there's a preparation of the soil. This trust that safe provide to the client, that is also a preparation of a soil.
Beautiful. Exactly. From the soil perspective, you were 100% right. Now let's connect with the coach's perspective. So what am I going to do? Yeah, I'm getting in the chat also.
Would it be the strategies that we evolve or develop to keep ourselves to the pace of the challenges of the clients?
Beautiful. USP, yes, Rahul, yes, could be one.
Effective questioning.
Brilliant, Amanamika. Thank you. Effective questioning or the powerful or the relevant questioning, yes. But the fertilizer out over here is going to be your branding. You being a brand, how do you grow yourself? It could be, relevant certifications. We ask people, just don't stop only with your, credential. What else? Even when I'm, recruiting or when I'm empaneling a coach, we ask them, okay, I don't want you to do Hogan assessment or the Hogan assessment at all. It's all pretty costly. But what are you doing? It's exactly Preeti, lifelong learning. The certifications or the additional things which are supplementing my uh, career as a coach. I think that's something which is exceptionally important. As a fertilizer, if I don't fertilize my soil will be like, that's it, gone. And it's very difficult for us also to maintain it. The fertilizers are exceptionally important. And Anna, what is CPD? I'm so sorry. Suddenly, I'm not able to get that.
Continue professional development.
Oh, yeah, continuous professional development. Fantastic. Yes, once in 3 months, or like the way we fertilize the soil, we fertilize the sand, Yes, I may have to start fertilizing. I need to have certain level of self journaling or self level of assessment where what am I doing? Last 3 months, okay, this is what I was been doing. What next? What else? Because my competition also is becoming better. They're also equally good. They're also fantastic, brilliant. So how am I going to save my soil? How am I going to save myself? I don't want my crop to get bad any point of time because it's growing well and I don't want to get into it. So the natural fertilizer is going to be your updated knowledge or your brand, what you create around you, which can make you feel that, wow, I am doing better. I am not getting outdated. I am not getting, like, oh, I don't want this. Coach, no, I'm relevant. You make me talk to Gen Z, I'm relevant. You make me talk to Gen X, I'm relevant. You make me talk to baby boomers, I'm relevant. Am I relevant? Am I supposed to add every damn thing as a fertilizer to make sure that, as a coach, I am relatable so that, people feel that, okay, yeah, I can go to him or I can go to her. And that's something which comes under your natural fertilizer, which is purely on your brand and your upskilling, which can make you relevant. See, it may not be possible for us to do everything and everything, but something is always possible under your budget. And yes, many a times what happens is when we finish a major credential, we feel like, wow, I'm done. For some time, let's not get into anything more. But unfortunately or fortunately, knowledge is something which is like continuous part. So if some other person will take over and I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I'm much better than Abhishek. Okay, let's not go for the milkshake. Let's go to me. Come to me. So that's something which comes over. The natural fertilizers are something where you may have to start updating or upskilling yourself. Now coming over to the next most important person, which is farmer. Who's the farmer for the coach?
Mentors, peer learning, supervisors.
Exactly. A coach should also have a coach. A coach should have a mentor. A coach should certainly have a supervisor. Once we finish, no, even after completing our MCC, also we need to have a coach around us. That coach may not be even an MCC or a PCC or AACC, but yeah, we should have a coach. Why? You already am a coach. I can sit in front of my mirror and I can coach myself. But why should I have a coach? You.
Usually self-coaching is too difficult. If someone's presence is there, it simplifies things.
Exactly. Self-coaching me, I'll be too soft to myself, too sweet to myself. Looking like, just looking at me, I'll be like, wow, what a person you are. Such a great personification. Mwah, just looking like a wow. I may not be in a position to be so beautiful, so elegant, just looking like a wow. You are the best coach in the world. Why do you need a coach? Get lost. Over. But yeah, by sowing a seed, by watering, by sunlight, certainly you're not going to help the plant grow. You need a farmer. You need a farmer to have a check, reality check. Certainly, yes. And good that Anna has coach, mentor, supervisor. Wow, what 3 in 1. Beautiful. But technically, yes, we need a farmer. We need a farmer who can let us know that we are traveling in the right direction or a wrong direction. At least when I need to discuss something, I need a fallback option. We need to be very strong within our own teams. The farmer is important. Without a farmer, we cannot have a coach. Coach also needs a coach. Coach also needs a mentor. And we may have to identify the right mentor around us. No need that we need to have only one. Wife can be one, but friends can be multiple. So you can have multiple mentors, multiple coaches around you. Whenever you feel that you are getting stuck, update or approach the relevant person, talk to them, make them feel what you wanted to speak about, get yourself engaged. That's it, done. And last but not the least, the festives. What does that festive denote here for coaches? We have farmers celebrate a lot of festivals around the crops, right? At least in Chennai, in Tamil Nadu and all, we have Pongal, Shankranti. We celebrate Shankranti Pongal to make sure that we celebrate crops. I'm sure Lori is also for Punjab. But why do we have festives around crops or with crops?
So we celebrate, for example, when we acknowledge the client for their experience. There's one celebration, and at the end, when we check with the client, how do you celebrate learning so far, or any insights from the client? Yeah. So all these acknowledgements and learning celebrations.
Beautiful. And yeah, Preeti, you rightly said celebration either can be small or big. Could be small achievements also. But do we do it alone or do we do it with people around us? We do it with people around us or we do it alone?
Yes, of course, people around us.
Exactly. Exactly. We celebrate with people. The same thing over here. We may have to be very strong in an association, which could be coach. We have our respective ICF chapters, right? We have Bombay chapter, Pune chapter, Chennai chapter, Hyderabad chapter, Bangalore chapter, Kochi chapter. So we have multiple chapters around us. Are we getting ourselves involved in that? It could be a silent involvement. Yeah, it could be something like this, where we are learning something of celebrate our small success. Are we ready to talk about what we are going through? Certainly, by keeping it within ourselves, we are not going to enjoy. The learning has to be like a flow. And your mistake could be my learning. My mistake could be someone's learning. But we are very private about it. I wish I don't want to talk about it. And I could keep it privately. It's not going to work. Certainly, the learning is first steps. What we are talking about is about your networks. Networking is exceptionally important for any coach. I'm specifically using the word coach because all of us are coaches out over here. So I don't want to talk a professional and I don't want to generalize it. I want to make it very specific about coaching where am I being very strong in my networking? Am I going to meet people? Am I going to move out of my comfort zone? Yes, today it's all about branding. People should know who you are. People should know what you do. The visibility factor of yours is something which is very important. Trust me, a few years back, we never had any kind of digital marketing. Now every company goes for digital marketing, right? Every company has a digital marketing wing. They celebrate every damn thing in the digital marketing side. What is our digital marketing tool for a person, for a coach like me? What could be my digital marketing tool? My digital marketing tool.
Instagram or something.
On it,
Facebook, people say,
exactly.
yeah.
Facebook is also dying. It could be Insta,
LinkedIn.
X,
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Exactly. How am I projecting myself as a coach? Am I going to do something? It could be 10 likes or 10,000 likes. Jo bhi hai. I'm not bothered about it. But I have to keep projecting it. But many a times what happens is the consistency becomes an issue. 2 years I celebrated. Third year I'm like, हाँ बाद में देख लेंगे. Chalo, out of it. No, certainly not. You have to keep yourself updated. You have to enjoy the coaching. We have to enjoy the branding of coaching. Why? Preeti would be enjoying the team coaching, individual because she does both team coaching as well as individual coaching. But more than we enjoy the coaching part, we may have to enjoy the branding part. Why?
Because that represents us. That is how we show
Exactly.
up to our clients. If we don't like ourselves to brand ourselves, why would the clients like us?
Exactly. The visibility. We have to celebrate ourselves. Chota hai ya bada. Let's not worry about it. It could be small, it could be big, it could be medium, it can come with any size. But am I celebrating it? Am I talking about it? You don't have to reveal everything, but put something, make yourself visible. Consistently, you may have to make it. And I would add on the digital chapter, own website, newsletter, generative content. Yeah, fantastic. See, if I don't do my own branding, who will do my branding? No one will do. I can't hire a marketing guy to do marketing for me. I cannot do a lawyer, I can't bring a lawyer to say that, yeah, do this, do that, fight for me, talk about me. Certainly not. I have to make sure that I celebrate everything which makes my work good. Yes, it's going to take time. Very important. It's going to take time. After spending so much time out over there, coming and, putting the story in Instagram or, making an article in LinkedIn, it's going to take time. But trust me, that's not a cost. It's an investment. It's an investment what you're doing for yourself. When you can do for your client, when you can do for your company, when you can do for anyone else, why can't you do for yourself? Celebrating it. So starting from the water to festive, what I really wanted you guys to think is, what am I going to do to make sure that it goes as a flow, the knowledge part? What am I going to do on enhancing my energy part? And yes, the most importantly, what kind of knowledge or what kind of competencies am I going to add as a natural fertilizer? And who's going to be my coach or a mentor where I can start having a fallback option? And how am I going to brand myself? These are the 5 areas where I have to think as a coach farmer to make myself grow, being a brain relevant, strategic, updated, and last but not the least, knowing our brand and competition around as well and working towards it. Why? The last point. Knowing my brand, sure, no problem. But why should I know about my competition? Vijay is my competition, Preeti is my competition, Anna is my competition, Anamika is my competition. Why should I know about them? Q. Why should I know about them? I'm happy being myself. Why would I bother about what Vijay is doing, what Preeti is doing, what Jesse is doing? I'm not even bothered about it. But why should I be bothered? I'm bothered.
Don't be bothered, but again, pay attention to what they're doing, because their clients might be also your clients. And when they come of choosing, they might choose one another based on your personal brand.
Exactly. Exactly. So the best part is we are all like a menu card. Our customers or clients can choose whom we wanted. Preeti would be my best friend. She would be like my sister outside the profession. Inside the profession, she's my competition. Yes, in order to sustain myself in the market, I should also know with whom I'm working with. And I should be so hungry about knowing about people around me, because at the end of the day, if I need to upskill myself or update myself, I may have to think what better. I don't have to do the same ACDC. I was like, wow, ACTC, fantastic. But I don't have to do the same thing because we already have Preeti over there. I've already done that. So what else can I make myself better where Preeti's client think that, no, yeah, I can go to Abhishek for this. So when I'm going to refer my clients to Preeti, knowing that, she has done ACTC, he would be like, wow, fantastic. Hey, great. And Preeti would be like very happy. Oh, thank you for giving me business, Abhishek. At the same time, what do I get in return? I was like, thank you. Bye-bye. That's it. But if I am keeping myself much, much better, much, much updated, there would be better options of exchanging the barter system. What was the barter system before? India was very good at barter system. And we Indians are still like that. What is barter system? In coaching,
Peer
Give
coaching.
clients and okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Peer coaching is a big, in the coaching industry, it's a big barter system. You give me coaching, I'm giving you the coaching.
for 500 hours. 100 to 500. No, let's not go with 500. 100 to 500. But the biggest barter
100 to
system, yeah, any
500.
other
Okay, I
barter
can share
system?
from my
Yeah,
experience of using a coach's knowledge where I feel I do not specialize on that niche. I do, partner with them, collaborate with them, and in
Nice.
turn, when they need something, we do it. Would
Yeah,
it be a
okay.
session, or would it be knowledge sharing, or building content, or it could be anything, right?
Exactly. The biggest barter system is, oh, okay, Vijay do one thing. If at all you have this client, you let me know. I will take that. And if at all wanted you are specific in this client, I will give you my client. So technically, what we do is we share. We share knowledge, we share people, we share clients, we share customers. Yes, that's something which is very important. When you have your base ready, you don't have to be insecure about it. And last but not the least, the last and final question is, insecurity being a coach is good or bad? Insecurity being a coach. Again, I'm not using the word professional. Insecurity as a coach. Is it good or bad?
It's coming from a space of, telling you what to focus on. So if you're going to use it to the positive, then yes, there is no right, wrong, or good, bad in anything, right?
Exactly. When you are so secure, when you're so happy, the learning stops. When you have the insecurity around you, a pinch of insecurity, that always makes us feel that, no, no, I think I'm missing somewhere. No, no, I don't want to be missed. I have to do something. That has to be there until I'm a part of professional gambit. Yes, I have to know what competition is doing, and some level of insecurity is good. So yes, as coaches, we help people, but what are we doing to help ourselves? That's something which is very important. Am I helping myself? Self-help is very important as coaches. I'm not talking about healing. I'm talking about branding. So what am I going to do to brand myself, which can make me visible? Will the credential help us to become a coach? Certainly, yes or no? No, no. There are a lot of successful coaches without credentials. They make very good money. They make brilliant money. And successful ICF coaches, yeah, as someone gave a beautiful voice saying that, making money is difficult. Yes, it's very difficult. So without, and I used to wonder, I think without ICF, we were making a lot of money. After ICF, we may have to make something much more vibrant to make sure that, we are seen. Are we really happy about the progress, what we are going through? This is the third question which we may have to really ask. Are we really doing the progress check as coaches? Am I doing it properly? This kind of assessment I may have to do for myself. I cannot help. Yes, I can take help of my coach. But yes, I need to have this question. Am I really happy? First few months goes like literally like a fairy tale. But after that, only the evil comes, the thing comes, that I don't get my client at all. Oh, this month, okay, no problem. Next month, kar lenge yaar. Next month, we may be having it. No, even 1 month I'm not getting it, then there's a problem. I may have to look into it. And how do we rationalize failures? Or what do we mean by that? Rationalizing failures? What do you mean by rationalizing the failures? The fourth point, rationalizing failures. As coaches, yeah, we may have to see failures, part and parcel. But what do you mean by rationalizing it?
Are we
Learn
learning
from
from them?
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Anna.
Are we learning from them? Do we have a, do we have a process of what happened to analyze everything, how we can become better? What is the learning curve there? What were the facts? What were the emotions in order to understand, to become better professionals?
Brilliant. Any other point? Complemented.
Sorry?
Any other point to complement it? I'm just asking others if they wanted to complement anything of what you said.
It's just like
I've-
having a sorry, please, I don't know who was speaking. Please go
I
ahead.
was, but
Please go
you
ahead.
can go ahead, Sangamitra, and I'll go after you.
Sure. So there's something called retrospective that happens in an agile framework, which is such a brilliant thing. And one of the frameworks is a 4L framework. Like, what did you love? What did you, long for? What worked? What didn't work? So I think failures can be heartbreaking because at first rationalization doesn't come to it because it's very emotionally attached to us. So we automatically take it very personally. And then that's when the retrospective has to come set in that okay, you can sulk for a bit, allow yourself to sulk and feel bad, have chocolate, have ice cream, do whatever, but
I'm on
then get
fast.
back to
I'm on fast today, so don't make me remind
so
all these
sorry,
things.
so sorry. Then I can talk about all the fasting things that will make you like the sabudana vada and all of that. But yeah, like after all, allowing yourself to like give that space and then get back to like what worked and something that I would just what Anna mentioned. So yeah.
Exactly. Culminating Anna and Sangamitra together. Preeti, you want to add anything else?
So I just wanted to add, after that setback, are you able to were you able to rise? So
Exactly.
yeah, and
Sort of
learn from that.
re-strategize, yeah.
Yeah, learn from that mistake. Use it for
Exactly. The
strategy or
relaunching of
for
you as a
the
coach again.
work.
Yes, as Sangamitra rightly said, if I want to cry, I can even cry aloud. Happens. No problem. But if you find it difficult, no problem. Just approach a coach. Again, you know what? Many of the coaches, they don't want to go for another coach because, again, the coach is very costly. And coach don't see any kind of disparity, No, you can be a coach. I see a PCC coach also. When you come to me as a client, you may have to pay me this. And I'm like, okay, let me heal myself. So nothing wrong. See, you can also find a friend around you. If you find it very difficult to handle the failure by yourself, take help. But yes, as Sangeeta rightly said, every failure will help us to learn something. And it helps in re-strategizing, rebranding, relaunching, whatever you name it. That's something which is very important. And how do we do comparative analysis to check our skills, which is exceptionally important? Am I going the right path or not? Am I upskilling a strategy? No problem at all. But the fifth point, how do we do a comparative analysis to check our skills? How do we do that? My skill, according to me, I'm exceptionally good. But am I doing the comparative analysis? Wow, Vijayshri is doing good. Sangamitra, oh my God. Preeti, oh, Anna, Ayo. All these IO factors are there in front of me only when I talk to them. But otherwise, I would certainly know what other people will have. But how can I do my own comparative analysis as a coach? What a silence.
I think when we are working with corporates and they have multiple coaches, we do get feedback with relevance to other performers. And when you have when you have clients who have worked with multiple coaches, then when you do peer coaching, you are able to understand how the modalities and how they are doing it. But I don't know whether that is a comparative analysis, but at that time you're a client in a coaching session. But at least you know the tools and resources that they use, and we can, get a mapping of that. Yeah, I think client feedback is one great space.
Exactly.
Supervisor's feedback is a great space. Mentor's feedback and your own coach feedback, not coach, your mentor and your supervisor feedbacks help.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Vijay.
And may
Yes.
I add on what
With
Vijay
pleasure.
said?
With pleasure.
Another way of, like comparative analysis is to have a coaching process on your own with somebody who is professional, who supports you, and know that, okay, my goals is to upskill myself all the time. And then how am I measuring that? Because we are talking, we are coaching, we are coaches, we are talking about coaching processes all the time. But how am I measuring my upskilling? How am I making sure that I am, reaching my goal from year to year, from 6 months to 6 months? And this is also a process, and also reflexive practice. Where was I 3 months ago? What have I learned in these 3 months about me, about what skills have I improved, what tools have I learned, and so on. I mean, I think it's a bigger mix. Just you need to know what works for you and what you need to do
Exactly.
to serve you.
Exactly. The customization. Technically, as a coach, an independent professional coach, I need to have my own comparative analysis of what I'm doing. It could be a feed forward, or like how Marshall Goldsmith says. That's a beautiful book. If you are interested, Marshall Goldsmith came with a beautiful book called What Got You Here. Copy of it, I can just share it with you. It's a beautiful for all leaders and coaches. What got you here won't get you there. There he used the word called feed forward. Feedback hurt us. It hurts us very badly. But the feed forward will not be hurting me because I'm gonna just pick and choose what is betterment. So yes, comparative analysis is very important. Doing it monthly once or quarterly once, either of it is important. Either you want to do it monthly. If it is not possible, at least the requirement is quarterly once. Am I doing as per the expectations? Getting feed forward from people, getting it from the corporate clients, I'm leaving it to you. But what comes out really good for you, think about it. And the last slide for the day, tag out. Yes. As coaches, where we need to start placing this is in our professionalism. Many a times what happens is, the coaches go silent, no response at all. We would be like, hello, hi, are you guys there? Are you alive? Are you dead? You get into the mute mode, and it happens within ourselves itself. When we send something, we don't get a response immediately. So that's something which also, like, we are professional coaches. We can't even respond to things. It may not take much of time, but professionalism is something which also generates a lot of farming in other people's mind, where it's a two-way process. Farming is not done internally within us. Farming is also done outside by seeing, like a creeper, not only in one land, it goes to another land, right? The same thing. If I'm going to start being very professional, Vijayshri or Sangamitra who are working along with me would be like, oh yeah, I'm very comfortable with a particular person. So that becomes a farming out over there. The second one, knowledge. Yes, I have to start investing time for my own knowledge. I have to start finding time. It could be a TEDx talk, it could be a podcast. It could be anything. It could be reading a book. People are not interested in reading a book. No problem. We have audio versions of the book. I don't want to listen to it. TEDx, something, Joby, or walk and talk with the people. Talk to a person. Talk to a leader. As a coaches, I need to start talking to multiple professionals who are very successful, because you tend to learn from walking people. They are your walking encyclopedias. Networking. Start sowing your seed for networking. It could be relevant network, irrelevant network, jo bhi hai, no problem. Today they may be relevant to you, but tomorrow they could be a potential client, or they can refer you a potential client. So the networking is something which is very important. The next amount of sowing has to be on the branding and marketing. Yes, I have to start investing time for my own branding and marketing. I can't get it from outside. And setting goals as a coach in terms of my profession, in terms of my clients, in terms of my financials. everything comes over. And last but not the least, business expansion. That urge has to be there in me. That urge is not there, matlab, it's going to be very difficult. My business expansion should be under my consensus. You know, I have to do something. I write my things. I have a journal. I write it. This month I need to acquire at least minimum 2 clients in for my coaching. But remember one thing, what makes us really get disappointed is having the coaching as the primary functionality for earning would be difficult. Would be difficult initially. That can be a part be assigned. From my experience, let me be very honest with you. My bread and butter is training. Today my day started by 2:30 in the morning because I have to travel to another city. So Chennai to Vijayawada. So technically I woke up at 2:30. My session started by 9. It got over by 6:15. 7 o'clock this happened. But I know I have another coaching at 7, 8:30. 8:30 to 9:30 I'll have a coaching, then I'll go off to sleep. But is it generating me a lot of income? If you're exceptionally lucky, if your stars are beautifully blessed, then yes, whichever, the laughing Buddha or Mahalakshmi will be coming and dancing in front of you and giving you a lot of profitability. But yes, until you become a well-established coach, you may have to have another side income, which has to help you get more money, because that should not let you think that, I think I made a wrong choice of being a coach. No, certainly you made a right choice. But how are we farming it? So with by seeing sowing a seed on the first day, I cannot get the crops, right? It takes a lot of time. By the meantime, as farmers, how they do it? Have a primary business coach. Let yourself be comfortable about the path of coaching. Let you become popular. You start branding yourself. And that's where your business will start expanding. And after a point of time, everything would become like Sida Sada, where everything would be going parallelly. Your primary profession as well as your other profession. The secondary profession one day will become a primary profession. Right? But for that business expansion, you need to know from where you can start generating income. Because once you're financially strong, you don't have to worry about the decision what you have taken. You can start thinking better. You can start working on yourself being better. But that business expansion will start happening only when we are clear about what we wanted to do. So yes, the last and the final slide for the day. What should be the right mind farming for we as coaches? This we don't have to answer out over here. Maybe we may have to introspect and think what would be really be the farming which I may have to do to make sure that my career as a coach, I feel good. So yeah, in short, this is what I was intending to talk about today. So yeah, you can share what you wanted to share.
Dr. Abhishek,
Yeah, Abhishek is fine. This is my official thing, so that's why.
Abhishek, actually, I'm working in an IT company. We have sales team, we have pre-sales team, then we have a set of delivery managers, then the workers. So now, whatever you said, all these are split into these various roles. Now, what you're asking is do everything. So I am a single solo coach. I'm working in a company so that it earns me money. Parallelly, I need to do my branding. I need to do my this. I need to do my farming. Oh yeah, as you said, it becomes a little too much, at least to me. So I don't know. Is there anything you can? I agree with whatever you said, but just seems like it's too much.
I I understand. Is there anyone who wanted to answer this before I answer? Because I have a very witty.
Today is your day, Abhishek. You have to answer.
Yeah, thank you. But anyway, ways, when we are making a movie for that matter, see, I was into a media. I was working with a radio station as a RJ. We used to have multiple people coming and, we used to have a lot of celebrity interviews and all. See, a movie doesn't, is not made with one person, right? With not with an actor. We need directors, we need lightmen, we need everything. Every person may have to contribute over here. My profession is also like a movie, Jesse. I cannot say that, I become tired because we chose this profession. It's not that, profession chose us. We chose this profession. If I need successful, I may have to get into all these things. That's what am telling you. It is not easy at all. It's going to be tiring. It's physically, mentally, could be tiring. I'm not denying it. But if I need to see more Gandhiji or whichever location the currency comes, I may have to work not harder, but smarter. When you like something, you won't feel the tiredness because you are seeing the results. Because as a farmer, when I see a small sprout coming out, I feel happy about it because I know there is a small growth. And just imagine, it's also like a profession, it's also like a land. It's a huge land. And yeah, you should be in your early 40s if I'm not wrong. Yeah, long way to go. And we professionals don't have a retirement age. Until we are alive, we can work. And it cannot happen within a short span of, let me do just this and let me start seeing results. Physically, in today's generation, it's not possible, Jesse. Yes, could have been possible 20 years back. But today we wanted all updated versions. What mobile you use right now?
Redmi, some.
Which was the first one? Very good. I also use the same thing. But why did you update it to
Here we have a lot
Redmi?
of maps I needed. I forget roads, so
Very good, very good. The price difference is also there, right? Phone is basically
yeah.
for picking and calling, messaging people. That's it. But we wanted the updated versions, more smart. We wanted maps, we wanted Mixi, we wanted grinder, we wanted camera, we wanted to shoot movies, right? The same thing. And trust me, Jesse, competition is very heavy out over here. If I don't do any of these things, my fellow coaches will be getting the opportunities. It's tiring until you establish yourself. After that also it's going to be tiring because you have to keep establishing yourself. If you have to be sustaining in this particular market, it's not going to be easy. And either they'll be coaching, no. We'll get back to you. I have both the options. What I start doing is I start integrating with my training. I train plus I coach. That's how I can start because I don't want to forget what I've done. It is going to be challenging. Only in Tier A, Tier B companies, people are fine with coaching. Tier C, Tier D companies, they are like, we don't want high-end coaches and all. We wanted the person who speaks the local language. I want a Teluguite, I want a Kannadiga, I want a Malayali, I want a Tamilian. Yeah. And they're like, ACC, PCC, jo bhi hai. I wanted that person to have a relevant experience. That's it. People are not even aware of what we are going through. Right? It's hard. If it is a very established market like US or UK, you don't have to worry about all these things. Your credential speaks. But here, along with credentials, you have to do something. It's tiring. I'm not denying, but do we have an option? Maybe if we are very well off, I can just pay Instagram. I can have my PR people start doing something for me, and my effort would be less. But over here, I'm the Alana Aragaraja, where I may have to do all the thing. I have to take up every damn thing. So if you're in a full-time coach, then you're blessed, bro. If you're a consultant coach, then you will get to know how painful it is.
Yeah.
But I may not be 100% responding to you in this question, but the actual reality is, yes, it would be tiring, but you have to embrace it. And you will enjoy it if you really love coaching.
Thanks for telling the truth.
Oh, yeah. Be easy on yourself. Just be consistent. Exactly. Easy if you're very strong. If you still feel that you need to improvise, then don't be easy. Have a reality check. Keep improvising yourself. If you're really exceptionally good, yeah, you will become easy. But until you become exceptionally good, be hard. No problem. You have to be hard because otherwise competition will come and pick your clients. Any other point?
DC, get coached on that. Use it as a coaching topic for yourself.
Yeah, good idea. Thank you.
But stop pair coaches, yeah. Seriously, it's mentally draining. Again and again, same topics. I'm not journaling. I'm not doing this. It's fake. Let's get into the proper coaching. You want to get into your proper client. The proper farming of coaching happens with your real clients, not with plastic plants. Plastic plants may not fade, but never gives you any results. No oxygen, no carbon dioxide, nothing. If you really wanted to help yourself, no peer coaching. Stop peer coaching. Get into actual coaching. Honestly, it's going to be difficult. I'm not denying it. For the number of hours, yes, it's a blessing in disguise. But trust me, for your coaching style, it's going to be a huge debacle. It's like pesticides. It's more like chemicals. Honestly, we're not going to grow. We are certainly not going to grow. Peer coaching, yeah, I'm not saying stop completely, but 20% of peer, 80% of actuals. It works. And people who are into coaching, for certainly they may buy my point. So any other question, any other reflections?
Peer coaching like that. If you're able to establish a good as a safety with a safety
Ah,
net and a trust group, then practice really becomes beautiful there on
good. Then
peer
it becomes
coaching.
a Bharatanatyam.
Exactly. It becomes a
I can do
Bharatanatyam.
that. Otherwise, it becomes like a huge debacle.
Yes.
Most of my peer coaching were like, I am not journaling, Abhishek. I don't know why. I was like, hello, yeah, talk something else. So, yes, as you rightly said, having a coaching cohort, a group coaching certainly will help us out. It will certainly help us out. But my coaching became better because of my MCC coach. She was strong enough, she like, and she has a beautiful smile. Okay, she's like, what have you done, Abhishek? Or pathetic. I have to tell you the fact. It was really bad. I'm like, don't be so strong. Literally. And you know what? I took 2 weeks of coaching fasting. I took off coaching fast. I said, no more coaching. I don't want to become a coach. And then I got back to her. I was like, you really disappointed me. And she said, did I? Good that you got disappointed because your coaching was really bad. Again, I was like, okay, I thought I may have to, take it up. You need a critical person. For us, a good farmer is needed. A right farmer, rather not good, a right farmer.
There is one thing that, Abhishek, that it comes to mind. When you are doing just peer coaching, you really don't know how to handle a process from beginning to the end, of coaching process, because you've never been into one. And that is the point where you are paying for to not start where you, and then when a real client comes, you know how to take him from point A to point B, where point B is reaching their goals.
Exactly. 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 Real is always real. I'm not denying it. Yes, artificial can look good, as she rightly said, if you have the right peer coaching gamut or cohort, good. If not, let's go real. Let's go real. It's effective. It's effective. Let's farm that. So, any other point?
Just to share how we do peer coaching organized by the chapter that I'm in. We don't do it we do it with other chapters, and there's always 3 person in any coaching session. The coach will ask the observer what competency that they want to work on. The observer will be observing. So you have the client who will bring a real or whatever kind of what we hope it's real. And at that point of time, after the two finish, the observer will come in and become like your mental coach. So there's a real feedback there and then. So that's powerful.
Exactly. Yeah, if that is happening in that particular way, then yes. But trust me, from PCC to MCC, the markers are completely different. The bars are different. And when I had a recent cohort last 2 weeks back by an MCC coach, he was very clear. You have to unlearn everything what you learned in ACC and PCC, and you have to become a completely new coach altogether in MCC. And I can't even ask for rating. How could you rate? Can you rate yourself between 1 to 10? I can't do that in MCC. There are a lot of things which we do in PCC, which we have been learning through PCC. We can't do that in MCC. When I saw the bars, I was like, OMG. It's completely different altogether. The markers are different. Maybe if you want, I have the bars with me. I can even share it with you. It's completely different. So when you look into it, then that's where you will understand that, PCC to MCC, you may have to think twice. But trust me, yes, we are in the right gamut. If we have to really go to MCC level, certainly we may have to unlearn everything as a PCC and we may have to go to MCC. So yeah, ACC to PCC, PCC to MCC, like completely different ballgame altogether. But yeah, if you get, as Vijay as well as Maimon rightly said, if you have the right gamut as peers, no problem. But if you don't get it, form it, no problem. Even if you cannot form it, go with the real clients. That's why we become better.
So I have one more question. Someone suggested me that we have to go and network in a place where people talk about their real issues. So that we can say that, okay, for this issue, I can help you through coaching. But where do I find real issues? People don't talk that way, right? Means, is that the right approach, or is it a practical thing?
Preeti.
So why, Abhishek, why you call my name?
Because you unmuted, so I'm like, yeah.
Okay. So for me, I believe the relationship works. So you have to build that relationships. The authenticity and relationship, these are very important as a coach, as a human being. So if you, and also for your first question also, I wanted to answer that one also. You should be aware. So the awareness is very important in both cases, that where you are and where you want to be. That awareness and what you are doing, what is working, what is not working, that is also very important. So if you feel, and your authenticity, your honesty is saying this is not correct, that your intuition is already telling you, don't go for it. Build that relationship. Whatever is working, whatever your intuition is saying, whatever you as a person who you are is saying, you do that, and that will work. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you.
So yeah, so technically, when we look into it, it's not as easy. But yes, it comes to you, Jesse. If you're comfortable going and networking with people around and talking about it, it's going to be fine. But if you're an introvert, if you want them to come to you, wear a work mask, become an extrovert for that particular moment. As simple as that. I'm also an introvert by person. By profession, I shed all my inhibitions out. In Tamil we say this. "Vekat thukki kakkatla ikkara mari." I am not going to worry about what people are going to think about me and all. I have to make money. Be shameless. At the end of the day, being a professional, yes, it's also about moving out of your comfort zone. That is the choice what we take. All right. So yes, it's again, that's what I said. Person to person, which is okay for me may not be okay for you. But what is okay for you should have to be okay for you. That's it.
You see, if I can add,
Please.
there is a purpose and a reason why you're in this space. Explore that a little deeper. Problems are everywhere. Real-time issues are everywhere around you. You don't need to go to any place to find that. It is just turn around, put your head this side, right, left, right, center, it is there. If you embody coaching as your way of life, then it just comes as a free flow. You will be practicing it everywhere, and that energy will spread, and that energy will bring you what it needs to bring you. Embody coaching as a way of life. That will work the magic.
Right? So
I can't help but notice something. Anna exactly has that written in her background. Spoke about that, and I could just see it right in front of me on her, on the screen.
This is the
I
key
wanted
mantra.
Yeah,
That's the key
sorry.
mantra. Good to have that. Thank you for
Yeah,
pointing.
that's my mantra for the beginning of my coaching journey, and that's what I want to say. I'm an introvert, and the way I'm starting conversation is just asking questions, because I'm a curious person. and people love to talk about themselves. So whenever I'm grabbing a coffee at the office, like, okay, what have you been doing? What have you been doing? I'm reading posts and I'm like asking a question. Do you need anything? How are you? I'm seeing you're going through something. What is the transformation like? This is easy for the introverts because it's easy for us to listen others talking. When the extroverts, they like to talk about themselves, they like to be the center of attention. So if you're an introvert, you're in the right place to be a coach. Really, you really don't do, you just need to show up and be yourself, because that is what you've been doing, listening to others, asking questions, like keeping 20% over you and 80% over them. This is how you show up in every conversation at the office, with the people around you, with the neighbors. And this is how you gain clients, actually. This is my experience, at least.
True.
Thank you.
True. But yes, I always say this, every coaching, we have certain purpose. And trust me, at the end of the day, it's all about how we leverage it. We have to be very, very strong about what we are doing, and we have to be very passionate about what we are doing. And whatever we are sowing out over here has to be something where, like, we should feel that wow, the wow factor has to be there. And yes, competition are just around us. We have 16 out right here. All 16 of us are our coach or a competition, or 12 are our competition. I need to make sure that how better I become, so that we don't have to get any kind of fear factor around it. So as coaches, yes, it's all about what we farm and how we farm. So let's start farming organically. Let's start keeping our land very clean and clear. And let's make sure that we start nipping up negativity, initially phase itself. If you need help, talk to all of us. We are there. So we are there to help you out. We'll become the external consultant farmers, We'll come and tell that, don't do this, don't do that. It would be fun. Right? So yeah, any other points? So if not, thank you so much to all of you for patiently being over here. And it wasn't like 1 hour session, it was more than an hour session. But thank you so much for, showing your presence. And it was wonderful having all of you. And I just wanted to put a post, Preeti, Anna, I wanted you to tell me what is your, okay, Preeti, I know. Anna, Sangamitra, I got her name. Rahul, I have. So, Jissi and Vijayshri, just let me know what is your name in the LinkedIn, so that, I can just tag you in the post. Branding, as I told you. So I
As
can
you see
start
it,
branding.
as you see it.
Vijayshri Parmeshwaran. That's it.
Yes.
Madhi. Okay, fantastic. Jissi, same name, kada?
Same name.
Same name. Rahul, I have. So